The 2024 election was a hammer blow to America's already fractured foundation. The results sent shockwaves through every corner of the nation, deepening the chasms that had already begun to form. Trump, back for seconds, left no doubt. This is his country now. His supporters, emboldened and fervent, rallied behind him with renewed vigor, believing they are reclaiming their vision of America. News feeds became battlefields, truth a casualty in the fight for narrative control. Every headline, every tweet, a skirmish in the larger war for the nation's soul. Families fractured over dinner tables, friendships shattered in the digital void. Conversations that once brought people together now tear them apart, leaving a trail of broken relationships. America is broken, and the pieces don't fit anymore. The divide between urban and rural, rich and poor, becomes more pronounced, each side retreating into their own echo chambers. The streets became a cacophony of anger and despair. Protests erupt in every major city, voices raised in a desperate plea for change. Protests, counter-protests, all fueled by the same toxic cocktail of misinformation and fear. The clashes were inevitable, each side convinced of their own righteousness. The center couldn't hold. It is gone. The once unifying ideals of our nation lay in tatters, replaced by a landscape of division and distrust. The algorithms knew what we craved: confirmation, not information. Conspiracy theories, once whispered in dark corners, now roared from our screens. QAnon, election fraud, the deep state. These weren't fringe beliefs anymore, they were the new gospel. Trust in institutions crumbled. The media, the government, even science itself, all suspect, all compromised. In their place, a new authority rose: the influencer, the anonymous account, the echo chamber that told you what you wanted to hear.
As a journalist clinging to the tattered remnants of objectivity, I felt like a lighthouse keeper in a hurricane. The winds of change are fierce, and the waves of misinformation crashed against the shores of truth with unrelenting force. The truth ISS out there, somewhere, but the storm of misinformation is relentless. It's a constant battle to sift through the noise, to find the signal in the chaos. Every fact check, every expose was met with a tidal wave of denial and hate. The more we tried to shine a light on the facts, the more we were drowned out by the roar of disbelief and anger.
My name is Michael. As a factory worker from the rusted-out heartland, I saw Trump as a savior. He spoke to our struggles, our fears, and our hopes for a better future. I believed the promises, the bluster, the simple answers to complex problems. It was a message that resonated deeply with those of us who felt left behind by the changing economy. For me, Trump's America was a return to a time when men were men, and jobs were plentiful. It was a vision of a past that seemed simpler, more secure. I didn't want to hear the truth, it was too painful. Admitting that the world had changed, that the old ways are gone, was a reality too harsh to face.
My name is Grace. As a lone voice of reason in a Republican Party warped beyond recognition, I fought a losing battle against the tide. The principles we once held dear were being eroded by a wave of far right-wing populism and extremism. Censured, ostracized, threatened, my crime was simple. I remembered what the GOP used to stand for. I held on to the belief that integrity and truth still mattered, even as the world around me seemed to forget.
It's 2034 now, and America is a country transformed, a land of stark contrasts and deep divides. The economy, a mirage of prosperity for the few, built on the backs of the many, where the rich grow richer and the poor are left to fend for themselves. Surveillance is the new norm, freedom a privilege, not a right. Every move watched, every word monitored, privacy now a distant memory. Dissent is silenced, replaced by the monotonous drone of propaganda. Voices of opposition are drowned out by the relentless tide of state-controlled media.
My name is Emma. My idealism is battered but unbroken. I continue to fight for the truth, even if it means whispering in the dark. The struggle is exhausting, but the cause is just.
Disillusioned but still clinging to the hope that Trump would make America great again, I found myself trapped in the same cycle of poverty and despair. The promises of change had turned into a cruel joke.
My warnings ignored, my legacy tarnished. I watched as the country I loved slipped further into the abyss. The decay is everywhere, a testament to broken dreams and unfulfilled promises. This is Trump's America now, and it here to stay. The flag still flies, but its meaning has changed. now a symbol of a nation divided and a future uncertain.